So, following the footsteps of my mentor, Chiamaka Igwe, I recreated this dashboard, this regional sales dashboard. And one beautiful thing about this very dashboard is the interactivity of all the buttons. You can see here total sales, total quantity, and total profit. And over here, you can see the years that are under consideration for this very dashboard. The beauty of this is any of these buttons that you click on, it will show you the values, the relevant values. For instance, we are considering total sales here, and the dashboard is already showing the values for 2013. So let's check out what the values are for 2010. So I click on 2010 and you can see the values have changed, showing you what the values were for 2010. And because 2010 was the starting date or the starting year for this very business, that's why the year-on-year values, the year-on-year percentage values are all 100% low. All of them are pointing downwards, showing the negative influence, and all are at 100%. So before 2010 there was no records, there was no business transactions, so everything started in 2010. So there is no previous year reference to to consider here. That's why all of them are on 100% down. Now if we go over to 2011, you can see some have changed, and in fact not some, all have changed, while some are now positive, some are negative. And you can see here as well the total sales by month. Every month shows you what the values are, and the charts, the trend tells you how the business performed in the central part, in the eastern part, in the southern region, and in the western region. And here you can see the total sales by customer segment, and you can see the segments that are performing very well, while others are performing according to their capacities. And in the eastern section as well, the eastern region, you can see here the corporate across board. I think corporate segment performed very well, as well as the home office. It performed very well across board. Well, that's that. And over here for total sales by product category, you can see the product categories that are doing well, and according to the visual I created here, I used the percentage values, not the actual values or the total sales by the product categories. I only considered the percentage values. So you can see for all the regions, the central, eastern, southern, and western regions, you can see how the product categories all performed in all the regions. If we go over to 2012, everything also changes, and one thing you would notice is how all the values are changing as you navigate through the years, showing you how the business performed across the years. So in 2013, which is the last year under consideration, you can see how the business performed as well. So that's that. Now this is considering only total sales, right? Now let's look at the total quantity. That's the total quantity of the products sold during the years under consideration. So if I click on total quantity, you can see everything changes as well to show you the figures of the quantity sold. And here you can see it's also capturing remember when we were looking at total sales, everything here was considering total sales by month, total sales by month, total sales by customer segment, and total sales by product category. Now, if we switch to total quantity, the headings also change to tell you that we are now considering total quantity by month, total quantity by customer segment, and total quantity by product category. And as we navigate through the years, you can see it shows you how the business performed in terms of the quantity of products sold across all the regions and across the customer segments and product categories. So you can see that. And if we go over to 2012, you can see as well how the southern region actually surprised me here, but the southern and the western region, the massive jump between the month of February and July, and then here between August and December, this massive jump. And then in the western region, from October until December, the jump was very high. This shows very positive activity, business activity going on in these regions within this or during these periods. And then if we switch over to 2013, you can you see what happened here between November and December? So why would the quantity of products sold in the southern region have this very sharp decline? That's worrying. It's one thing that the business needs to look into. This is one of the benefits of having your business checked out, your business analysis done very well. This is one of the benefits of charting your business performance and looking at your business performance using BI, business intelligence softwares. And then if we consider now profit, the total profit, you can see how the business performed in terms of profit, so across all the regions. So in 2010, of course, the performance, the trend which will tell you how they were performing in terms of profit by months. And then over here you can see the segments that made the most profits and the segments that made the least profits, or the business made the least profits. And even in this case, in this instance, there was actually a very terrible loss, almost 26 grand dollars in loss. That's something to worry about in 2010. And then in 2011, I think they improved. The southern region improved in 2011, and the eastern region had a 2K loss in this particular segment, small business. Yeah. And then in 2012, you can see the southern region, equally small business and home office segments, also recorded some losses. This is something to review to understand what's actually happened. Why are we having all these losses? Could it be because we didn't sell much, in this year, within this period? What can we do to optimize the sales in this very region? What can be done to make sure that we maximize the profit? Do they have enough inventory for sales in that region? Could it be that the sales team in that particular region are not active enough? Are they not selling enough? What is the marketing budget for that particular region? How have the marketing, what is the marketing strategy also employed in that particular region? How have they been doing in terms of marketing? So as you can see, the total sales was lower in this very region. If you check across all the regions, they have the lowest, total sales, and the lowest total quantity of products sold as well. And so the total profit is equally very much lower than the other regions. So what could be the reason behind this? What could be the reason behind this? What is responsible for all of this? What is responsible for this very low output from this very region? The dashboard gives you an idea of how your business is performing in the various regions that you do business. And now it is left for you, the management board and the sales team, the sales team leaders, to come to the drawing table, review these performances, and then decide, or rather, first of all, review what could be responsible for the colossal, the abysmal performance of the southern and the western region, and what could be responsible for all the losses recorded in these regions and in various other sectors, this various other segments. Why are they having losses in some segments? Why are they recording negative quantities on negative profits in some segments and in some years? you know you know so what could be responsible for all of this, and then find out what is going on. Could it be that they have not been marketing, the marketing strategy for these areas are not up to par? Could it be that the population in these regions cannot be compared to the central and the eastern region? Could it be that the purchasing power of the residents of these regions cannot be compared, or it's lower when compared to the residents of the other regions? What you can now sit down with the board, the team leaders, and review all of this. But if you do not have this dashboard, if you do not have a dashboard that is giving you this kind of information, how would you know? How are you going to know how your business is performing? Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye.